Talk means memory, dream. Talk means voices. Talk the louder voice. First chapter is more likely about Tommy's life. Next chapter will be focused more on taking and action. Enjoy. House of Memories 0 o'clock. Underscore 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 underscore. Losing someone was always hard for us, especially if we weren't able to say our goodbyes. We try to spend as much time as we can with them, but not everything goes smoothly and how we want it to. Promises are something we can easily make, but not easily keep. And as much as we want, we often break them and then make another one. We can't do anything about it, especially if we aren't trying. It usually happens automatically to some of us. Keeping promises isn't easy for some and others break them regularly, not caring about other person feeling. That was something that happened to Tommy, 17 years old boy who wanted nothing more in life than love and family. Person that he thought was his best friend broke one of their promises, leaving him all alone. When Tubbo met and married Ranbo, Tommy became an second option and that's exactly how he felt every day. Tubbo always chose Ranbo by when he was busy. Tubbo clung to Tommy and begged him to hang out. And Tommy was blind at first, he would drop everything he was doing and he would hang out with Tubbo. He simply felt bad whenever Tubbo made that hurt face and acted upset. But when Tommy wanted to hang out, Tubbo always had something to do and he didn't care how hurt Tommy was. At least he had Puffy, his friend and therapist. She was the only person to support him whenever his trauma and memory came back to haunt him in dreams. She was like his mother that he never had, especially when his dad, Philza, abandoned him. Maybe it seemed selfish, but Tommy did felt like Philza abandoned him. He spent all days with Techno or Wilbur, not caring about the youngest. So, Tommy taught himself to act like nothing happened. You could say that he knew how to turn off his emotions. It wasn't healthy, of course, but did he care? Not at all. He hated pity and that sad smiles he saw on their faces, whenever he passed them. He did his best to hide and be normal. But how can a kid like him be normal, after everything that happened? After all the wars, exile and death. It was simply not possible. That was one of many reasons why he visited Puffy once a week, just to let out his emotions and spill everything that was on his mind. And the fact that he had voices didn't help at all. He got them after Philza and Techno. They weren't hungry for blood or death, their actions depended on how Tommy felt. If he was angry, they were angry. If he was sad, they tried to make him feel better. If he was happy, they were happy. But there was this one voice, he was louder and clearer than the rest. Tommy didn't know why, but he always gave Tommy good advices. It didn't matter how he felt, he just was there for Tommy no matter what. The voices were with him since age of 10, which meant he has them for 7 years now. He got used to their weird sentences and words. They weren't that annoying now, since they were mostly his company to talk and spend some time with. Yet the best thing was that no one knew about that, not even his family. He was good at hiding his voices, since they never acted really angry and full of rage like Techno's ones. Maybe voices were the reason why he was stronger mentally than the rest of the miners. Maybe they were the reason why he was still alive. He considered them as his friends, family, if you could say. He lived in his small dirt and cobblestone house, even if he made himself bigger house far in the forest. It was his place to calm down and hang out whenever he felt sad or needed time to think. He could sit there hours and never get bored. Monsters never walked up to his house, they simply stayed away. Why? Maybe because he killed thousands of them and they did nothing to him. His voices could take control of his body, only if he allowed them and kill everything okay their way. Of course he didn't do that often, only when it came to the zombies, creepers or skeletons. He had weird soft spot towards the black spiders. They could be aggressive if you provoked them, but since Tommy didn't do anything to do, they after neutral towards him. He actually loved spiders, that's why one lived in his house. Why did he had spider in his house? Well, one day when he was walking towards his second house, he found a dead spider. It had arrow piercing though its stomach, as it lay dead. Tommy always hated violence, especially towards mobs he liked and accepted. When he heard a squeak behind him, he turned around and his voices immediately softened, literally crying from the cuteness. "Ah, he's so cute," Tommy said, kneeling down. "Tommy? What? You know I love spiders," Tommy said, rolling his eyes. Don't roll your eyes on me, young man. Yeah, whatever. What do you guys think? Can we adopt him? Hell yeah. Cute spider. Adopt him. Son. Father in it. I still wonder why I never left you in the first place. Tommy smiled, taking the small spider in his arms and walking back to his house. I will name him Shroud. Ever since that day, Shroud lived with Tommy in the forest. Tommy visited the house twice a week. He knew Shroud could take care of himself, especially when Tommy made special room for him. It emitted a cave at some point, where Shroud could feel safe and have some time alone. Tommy made sure he had everything baby spiders needed, including love and attention. That's why he spent first month with Shroud, not once leaving him alone. People in Limburg didn't even notice that he was gone, maybe expect one person. Purpled was simply Guy, living in a bug UFO. He was brother of Puns, year older than Tommy. He was one of the healthiest miners, since he wasn't in wars that the rest was. He wasn't sure what Tommy went through, but he knew that like Ranbo and Tubbo he has some bad past. He tried multiple times to talk with Tommy, but every time when he tried, he either wasn't home or he didn't have time. Purpled was that one person who actually cared for Tommy, even if he didn't know much about him. He noticed that no one really talked with him, not even mentioning spending time with him. Tommy seemed like the loner type of person. Poofy once told him about Tommy's past, that his family was always busy and not that great. Techno, who was strong and scary, Wilbur who was once a ghost and blew Limburg up. And then there was Phil, man that killed his son and betrayed Tommy. So, one of Purple's newest promises was to keep Tommy company and help him recover. But could he keep that promise and not break it?